Hey guys, let's get more news about Steelers, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. QB Skylar Thompson signs reserve/futures deal with Steelers. Former Dolphins quarterback Skylar Thompson has signed a reserve/futures contract with the Steelers, according to his agency, Sports Trust Advisors. In 2024, Thompson beat out Mike White for the Dolphins' backup quarterback job during training camp and appeared in 3 regular season games, including a Week 3 start in place of Tua Tagovailoa after his concussion. Thompson was sacked 5 times in the game before leaving with a rib injury. He played just 2 more snaps before the end of the season and finished with 21 completions on 33 attempts for 187 passing yards. The former 7th-round pick also started 2 games during Tagovailoa's absence in Thompson's 2022 rookie year. The former Kansas State Wildcat struggled in his first taste of NFL action, completing just 60 of his 105 passing attempts for 534 yards, 1 touchdown, and 3 interceptions. Now, Thompson will join the Steelers as Mike Tomlin and his staff prepare to spend a second straight offseason navigating the quarterback position. Last year, they signed Russell Wilson and traded for Justin Fields, who combined for less than $5 million against the salary cap, per over the cap. Wilson won the starting job in training camp, but a calf injury gave Fields the chance to start the first 6 games of the 2024 season. The Steelers led the AFC North with a 4-2 record with Fields under center, but still turned to Wilson once he was healthy. Pittsburgh went 6-5 in his starts and fell to second place in the division after 2 losses to the Ravens. Fields averaged 158.5 passing yards per game in his starts compared to Wilson's 225.6, but the players recorded similar passer ratings. Fields also brought more to the run game and occasionally took the field for Wilson in short yardage situations later in the season. Wilson has recently expressed his desire to remain in Pittsburgh, but his late-season struggles may have the team turning towards a younger and less expensive option in Fields. Regardless of which 2024 starter stays in Pittsburgh, Thompson will likely compete for the Steelers' backup gig next summer. As of now, no other quarterbacks are under contract, though Kyle Allen could re-sign after spending this year as the 3rd stringer. Russell Wilson, Arthur Smith had tense relationship throughout season, Steelers insider says. Russell Wilson fell off sharply as the season continued into the Pittsburgh Steelers' toughest stretch of the year, ending with the team falling on a 5-game losing streak. Offensive coordinator Arthur Smith tried to pull out all the stops to give the Steelers the best shot, but apparently, Wilson and Smith were not necessarily seeing eye to eye. Steelers insider Mark Kaboly says that Smith and Wilson worked through their differences with one another, but it was a rocky relationship that did not always teeter towards the positive side. Reports surfaced during the year that offensive coordinator Arthur Smith preferred Fields over Wilson, but that was never substantiated. Still, despite Wilson and Smith spending countless hours together after the typical workday watching film and publicly joking about it, a team source recently said that Wilson and Smith did not have a very good working relationship but fought through their differences as best they could, Kaboly wrote. Wilson says he hopes to return to Pittsburgh, while Smith is expected back as long as he does land a head coach position. Smith is set to interview for the New York Jets and Chicago Bears jobs. If both happen to be back, how they navigate this relationship will be a huge part of their success or lack of it in 2025. Davante Adams says he would 100% love to play for Mike Tomlin. After another late-season collapse and first-round playoff exit, it seems like every Pittsburgh Steelers fan has joined the Fire Tomlin crowd. Unfortunately for those angry fans, it appears that the Steelers are keeping Tomlin around for the 2025 season, even if other coaching staff changes are likely. While fans and the NFL media are questioning Tomlin's effectiveness as a head coach for the Steelers after 18 seasons, it's clear that players throughout the league still love him as much as ever. Davante Adams, a future Hall of Famer currently with the New York Jets, appeared on the Up and Adams show with Kay Adams on Tuesday morning, and Kay Adams asked the 32-year-old wide receiver if he would play for Mike Tomlin. "100%, I love Mike," Adams said. "Anytime you have a coach that's a player's coach and you can tell that they've got a way with their guys, those types of coaches, they always win me over. I've had nothing but respect for him and it's been mutual." In case you forgot, after all the late-season drama surrounding the Steelers, Pittsburgh aggressively pursued Adams in October after he requested a trade from the Las Vegas Raiders. General Manager Omar Khan was seeking another star receiver to pair with George Pickens, and once any deal with San Francisco 49ers receiver Brandon Ayuk fell through, Adams rose to the top of the list of potential trade acquisitions. Ultimately, Adams chose the New York Jets to reunite with his best friend and quarterback Aaron Rodgers, and the Steelers ended up grabbing a less flashy, albeit cheaper, receiver in Mike Williams from the Jets. It's fun to imagine what could have been with George Pickens and Davante Adams in the Steelers' offense, and the nightmares they'd have posed for opposing secondaries and defensive coordinators. While there's a strong chance Adams leaves the Jets this offseason, the Steelers are a long shot because they have other positions to pay on offense, including quarterback and running back. They also have a decision to make about George Pickens, who's entering the final year of his rookie contract and could command around $30 million per year if the team decides to extend him. It's unlikely Adams fulfills his hopes of playing for Tomlin, so long as the latter is coaching the Steelers. Later in the conversation with Kay Adams, Davante Adams shared a brief story that encapsulates the mutual respect between himself and Tomlin. "He talked to me during some games," Adams said. "I remember last year, 2023, they came to our place in Vegas. I think Joey Porter Jr. had made a play on the sidelines on me, and he got up barking and screaming and hollering in my face a little bit, and I just kind of looked at him. And then I looked over at Mike Tomlin and he comes running over to me and he's like, he's young. Just let him live." So, just having somebody that's like, "Look, my guy made a play and he was a little out of line, but just to be personable enough to joke with me in that moment about that, says a lot about him. Obviously a great coach, but he's a hell of a dude too." Here's the play that Adams was referencing, unfortunately cut off before the Tomlin interaction. Steelers players are backing Mike Tomlin too amidst the backlash from the fans and media, with Pat Freiermuth recently praising his leadership. Players love Tomlin and his iconic sayings, swagger, jokes, and heart-to-heart talks. That doesn't excuse or dismiss the team's lack of playoff success. But all point to why he's remaining the Steelers' head coach, a person who hasn't lost his locker room or the respect of those around the league. And you, fan? What do you think of the situation of Davante Adams? Leave your opinion in the comments.